On December 31st of 2025, the world anxiously waited for what was genuinely known as probably the most awaited finale of the modern age. The Stranger Things finale was released on New Year's Eve last year, and the internet had many opinions.
And
we
so did we.
we also have many, 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 many,
Many strong opinions
many
about the finale.
strong, numerous listed opinions that we don't have in a list form, but we have in a mental form uh, that
But
we are about to tell you. Welcome to another episode of the Discovering the World podcast. I am your host, Claire Bartholomew, and with me is my co-host, Jasper.
so today we're going to be talking about our long-awaited opinions on the Stranger Things finale. So Bo watched like all of the episodes as they came out. I hate waiting for things, so I was like, I'm going to wait until New Year's Eve, watch all of them, starting from the morning, and then the Stranger Things finale would be out, and it'd be a great thing. And to say it was disappointing is kind of an understatement.
It it was something. We have plenty of opinions.
We have talking points.
We have talking points, aka the 100 biggest plot holes from Stranger Things season 5.
Thank you,
Uh,
BuzzFeed, for the wonderful
the BuzzFeed.
BuzzFeed saying,
Let's
"Here
see.
you go. Here's every problem that you
It's
want."
literally a website.
You couldn't even see it.
It's an article, 100 Stranger Things questions we still have after the finale, because let's be real, there were a lot of plot holes.
And we're just gonna kind of talk about a few of them, not all of them, because this would be a long episode if
Yeah.
we did.
Let's just talk about our main big points first, because we have some weird points from the beginning.
I think my biggest thing is just why was the writing so bad?
Yeah.
Like the show, what made people interested for so long is they put in so much energy, they put in so much effort, and wrote such an intriguing plot line. And then we get to the final season, and it just felt like they gave up. And we're like, "Oh, here's our scraps.
Whoops. We wrote this cool show. Ah, darn. Lost our
Now we
writers.
have to end it." It was so weird.
We like all these characters. How can we send them away? Oh, I know. We lose them all in a mental game, right?
Yeah, of
Right?
course.
Right?
Oh, and also, spoiler warning for this episode: there are going to be spoilers.
Yeah, and, along with that, spoiler, we do believe in Conspiracy Gate, and we
Conformity gate.
Conformity Gate,
Stupid.
and we do also believe that, that somehow there is still a way that they're going to still release another episode somehow
I think if they do,
with
it's
their
just gonna
bacon.
be like, "Oh, we screwed up really badly. Let's go and record one."
Here's our here's how it actually ends. Womp womp. Oh, okay. So some of the main things, like they're advertising, there are so many different scenes that they like described having in season 5 that didn't exist. Like there was a military scene that there was a like background footage shown. There were behind the scenes images shown that like the costumes were never seen like in the season, or like the Eddie, Barbara, they were all told that they were gonna their dead bodies were gonna be seen in this season, and they were even shown their body doubles.
Yeah, the main
Where
cast told us they were like, "Oh yeah, we've been shown it," but suddenly it wasn't there. Like we didn't see it. It was just like,
unless they were, like, in the back somewhere and we're just not looking
but I
hard
feel like
enough.
that's also useless then. It's like,
Yeah,
"Oh, we're gonna create these like body doubles to look like these past characters, and you're not gonna notice them."
yeah,
Because I feel like I would have wanted to notice them. Okay, I think the biggest plot point. I'm gonna kind of like look at these and then tell you to get your
yeah,
opinion. Where did the military go?
yeah, like, after the final, like, little bit when Elle disappears, the military also, like, just blips off eternity. Like, where did they go?
And okay, like go back kind of to when Elle disappears. They were playing this frequency that obviously we've seen before bugs her.
Yeah.
Like she literally cannot move when that's playing. And
So how could she run to
how could she run away and escape?
especially at that speed?
But no, especially at the fact that like she supposedly died there. How could she get there without like falling over and without the military seeing her? And also, I feel like a big plot point this season was the pregnant women
Yeah.
and their whole setup in the Upside Down. So where did they go? Why did they just abandon it so quickly?
Yeah.
Because oh, Elle's dead. It's fine.
And especially with the military around, like, in the '80s, they would have had at least, like, 12 more. 12 other copies of that experiment in other locations.
Exactly. Even if
Like,
it wasn't in another version of the Upside Down, it still would
it
have.
would have been in, like, Chicago, it would have been in California, it would have been in New York, it would have been
Yeah, there would have been other locations,
yeah,
and it's just weird.
so it would have been and it would have been just testing different factors in different locations, like, I what happened to them? Like, and oh my gosh, and where did they go?
And where did they go? Why did they abandon it so quickly? What was the point?
Yeah,
Okay, I think the next one kind of involving that. Why did everybody move on so quickly?
yeah,
It felt like, especially Hopper,
mhm,
he was so close to Elle. If Elle died, right, like he watched her die, he would not have gotten over it that quick.
he was just like, "Oh, she's gone. Bye."
Yeah,
It just
it's like, oh, but she's dead. Oh, Mike, you're still on that. Oh, that's rough.
Mike,
It's
she made
rough,
her choice, can you make yours?
right? It was just,
So I think it's really interesting that when Max comes out of her coma, everybody's just like, "Oh, hi, Max," and then just continues on with what they're doing.
and also the fact that she had no reaction to finding out that Hopper's still alive.
Yeah,
Like everybody thought he was dead.
yeah,
And she wakes up and he's there and she's not like, "Oh my hello?"
yeah,
It's just like a, "Oh, let's move on with our
and
lives."
when Hopper goes back, like
How did he explain that, "Oh, I'm alive, I'm not dead?"
yeah,
How did he get his job back?
because all the cops thought he was dead for a long time.
Exactly.
Oh,
So it's
and
just
then okay, we need to talk about the final battle because people have done, like, analyses.
that's actually one of my problems.
Oh,
So my first thing that I'm gonna bring up about this final battle is it was established like a couple seasons before the finale
mhm,
that anything that hurts the hive mind will hurt Will
mhm,
if he's close enough.
yeah.
Will was literally right there during the final battle. Why did he not feel anything?
He he felt things at the start, but then he was just like,
He
"Ah,
was just like, "Oh,
I
never
feel
mind."
so great."
But it's like he was
Like,
right there next to Vecna. He was right, like, in the hive mind.
yeah,
He should have been able to feel essentially everything, and he just didn't. And
yeah.
that whole plot point was just, like, thrown out. It's like, "Oh,
And
whatever."
then, do you have on there that, there was either Will's coming out scene or them planning on how to defeat Vecna were one of those scenes was a longer scene than the final
Will coming out, like, people went and timed it. Him coming out to his friends and explaining and all that was longer than the entire final battle.
yeah.
Like, that doesn't make sense. And honestly, it was just kinda thrown in there. Like, I don't know, it was kinda just thrown in there, and I was like, "Oh, okay." Like, we all knew, "Glad you finally caught up, Will, thanks." But it's like, why was that scene longer than the final battle? The battle that everybody has been waiting for since, like, last season and even season 1. They expected this big I'm speaking for me at least, and you can
Mhm.
speak up, but it's like, I expected it to be this big thing, and it wasn't. It was just like, "Oh,
I
there
was
you go."
expecting it to be a multi-episode battle. Like, they were going to end an episode mid-battle, start the next episode in the middle of the battle, and
Or I would have even wished if episode 7 ended
continue.
right as the battle started,
Uh-huh.
like, right as the Mind Flayer came out,
Yeah.
and then it ended, and then all of episode 8 was just a battle,
Yeah.
but it wasn't. Episode 8, there was just so much filler.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Um, there another big thing that they have throughout all of season 5, and this is the main thing that fueled Conspiracy Gate, is that
Conformity.
Conformity Gate. I don't know what it is with Conspiracy Gate. It's probably conspiracy theory.
Yeah, that's what you're thinking of.
Conformity Gate is that things either changed or they reflected things that happened earlier within the series that just either were too easy or didn't make any sense. And then the things that actually just started to not make sense at all were just after the final battle, like especially during their graduation. And we'll get to those.
Well, I
But
think let's talk about them now.
I think we should just go through in chronological order of the things that just didn't make sense. And we'll go through the things that inspired our conformity gate ideas. And then we'll get to because graduation, we got a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I think let's
Yeah.
kind of just start at we all know the whole battle kind of was lackluster.
Yeah.
It was kind of boring. Getting to the end of the battle, after they ended it and everybody was like, "Oh, yay, everything." It didn't feel genuine. I think was one big thing.
Yeah.
You just defeated this thing that has, like, haunted you for years of your life.
Mm.
And, "Oh, we just defeated them. Let's get in the truck and let's just, quickly go home." You don't spend any time consoling each other. You don't spend any time doing that.
And we're graduating next week. Yay.
Yeah, it was
Oh,
like
and Max, even though she was in a coma
for, like,
a
2
year and a half.
years, she still managed to
Yeah.
graduate. That's how I'm getting through my senior year. I was like, "If Max can do it, so can I."
If any of you think that you can't graduate, just
Just look at
remember Max did.
Max did. But no, I think it's just like and then when they got out of there, everything and you can speak on your opinion on this, everything felt rushed.
Yeah.
When they saw the military to when we got to Elle standing in the entranceway, everything was so rushed.
Mhm.
And I was just confused. Like, it took me a second to catch on to what was even happening.
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Oh, that's really weird." And then suddenly she got captured. But it's like we said earlier, how did she move with that sound playing?
Yeah.
And how did the military not notice her?
Mm.
They had so many officers there. She's their main target. Why haven't they noticed it?
Yeah.
What are your opinions on, like, that section?
So I really liked the way that Mike described it in the actual series, but I feel like there are just so many like Vecna moments of emptiness in between them escaping the upside down to the end of the series that I don't think it's the end. And so I do think that she did escape, but I don't think it's the end for them. But
I think she did I think she escaped.
mhm,
I don't see her escaping the way that they described it in the show.
yeah,
That was just so unrealistic.
because I don't think it was as prepared as Mike had it seem.
Yeah. Like, the way that Mike described it, I was like, "Oh, it just doesn't make sense with what happened." But I believe that she escaped.
Yeah.
But moving to the whole graduation and the after thing, you start with your opinions, and then I'll
So
get to mine.
um, one of the main things that people were quick to point out with the final episode is everything past when the military shows up
Yeah.
and when they start doing like was it like 5 weeks later or whatever
I
it
think it was
was?
about, like, 2 months.
Yeah, 2 months later when they're done rebuilding and it's like the week of their graduation. They started pointing out like almost right after the episode was released. Here's a whole bunch of things like I don't think it's the end. They
Yeah.
sort of pointed out in every single shot behind all of the main actors, there was a person who looked like Mr. Whatsit. There, behind all of the actors in the graduation scene, there was a person wearing glasses that
Glasses.
in the round Mr. Whatsit
And they were
style.
all sitting like Mr. Watson. They were all
Yeah,
sitting with their hands in their lap.
Very
Like,
I can't do it in the camera.
and
That's the
they're, like,
problem.
sitting very just like this in
Uh-huh.
the graduation.
Yep. The graduation, was also orange, which is one of their 3 colors. Their school colors are orange, green, and white. White doesn't make sense for graduation gowns.
No, but also I feel like when I thought about them, green was so much more prominent in the show.
And, in some of their old like, in some of the previous seasons, they do show graduation shots from previous, like, years, and it does show that they're wearing green, but it's for indoor. And I did watch a interview with their costumer, and because it's on grass, they chose to go with orange, and so that's the only reason why
Well,
I
that
don't
makes
think that very m I don't think the color of their gowns is very much of a choice for, conformity gate, but
no, but it was just a weird thing. But I guess
it's
the green makes sense in a film
yeah,
sense.
but, everybody was quick to point out that it looks like they're all prison inmates.
Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't even notice that when I watched it, but that makes sense.
and then, um, all of the families, like, especially the Wheelers, they all have the Mr. What's-It hairdo. Everybody in the audience sits like Mr. What's-It.
Yeah.
They're all the graduation, like, posters that people, like, hold at graduation that's like, "Hooray, you did it." They're all blank,
Well, there were a couple that had words, I think. I'm trying to
or
see
they're,
if
like,
they
gibberish or something like that.
yeah, they were all, like, gibberish or
And then
there was nothing written on it. Like, the biggest poster that you could see was just a big fat, like, yellow poster with nothing on it.
yeah, and then, I'm quite sure somebody had a camera, but the lens looked like one of the speakers that they were using to make Elle
Freak out
yeah,
and
and so, like, the graduation looked like an AI generated image, and
it did. Like, if you look at
yeah,
an AI image where it has all those, like, things that are wrong and stuff and they're missing, it looked just wrong. It looked
yeah,
weird.
and then, like, if you aren't, like, a person who really dives deep into what characters experience earlier within seasons and, um, or, like, what people say to them earlier within seasons, you wouldn't catch, like, how certain characters, like, treat other characters. But, um, the way that characters interacted with each other during the graduation scenes only matched up to the ways that Vecna would have seen those characters interacting.
Exactly. Like, um, one big example of this was Vicky.
Mhm.
Vecna didn't know she existed.
Yeah.
Vecna had never had an interaction with her, and she was nowhere to be found in the finale. She was never brought up, she was never talked about.
Mhm. But she was a huge part of the series up until after the battle.
Yeah, and then she was disappeared.
Yep. And then, like, the graduation happens, and then we're doing all of the, like, the final scenes, and, uh, they they're doing the
D&D.
the adult wrap-ups, and they're showing, like, here's what the adults end up doing, and for Steve, they show that he's coaching baseball,
He's in basketball.
and he's a basketball player.
And
He's never
it's
touched a baseball in his
yeah,
life.
in his life, but suddenly he's coaching
Yeah,
baseball.
and he only
But the thing is
yeah,
Vecna wouldn't have known
yeah.
that he
Vecna only
played
knows that he, like, attacks him with a baseball bat with spikes in it.
so
That's the
he would
only
have
way.
put it as, "Oh, maybe he played baseball," so he put him as a baseball coach,
Yeah,
and it's just weird.
yep, and then, um and then all the boys and them, they all play D&D, and it was great, and I don't remember all the things that I had about that scene, but there were things.
No, but there were things, in a when they put all their books onto their shelves, like, finishing their campaign, there was nothing weird in the show, but then when they made an Instagram post, it spelled out "lie"
Yeah,
or "X a lie,"
yeah.
Dimension X, and people were like, "That's weird." There's a game in the background of one point that says "What's it" on it, and
And it
people were
was
like
also in a lot of shots in the
it
show.
was in a lot of shots in just the finale.
Yeah.
So people were like, "Oh, that's really weird." Um,
And then, um,
oh, sorry,
people were
another thing.
also quick to point out that when, like, the very final shot in the entire show was pretty much the exact same shot as, like, the Truman Show when he closes the door behind him and it's going up the stairs. And pretty quick on the Instagram, like, a few weeks after, they posted a video of the door opening up again, and nothing ever since.
And it's so and if you know the Truman Show, it's just this whole thing of this guy is living a lie. This guy thinks, "Oh, everything in my life is true. I'm just living this normal day-to-day life," but it's actually a TV show, and he's just living in this huge dome. So people put that together and were like, "Oh, this is weird. This like, the ending must be fake
Mhm.
because of the similarities." And another big similarity that was really weird is, like, Mike and Nancy were like, "I never wanna turn into my parents. I never want to, like, look like them or do what they do," and at the very end, Nancy looks just like her mom, and Mike, when he goes down to write, looks exactly like his dad,
Yeah,
and they all have the similar, like, Mr. What's-it haircut.
yeah.
And it was really weird.
So our microphones decided to cut out right before our life update, which was super fun. But for the rest of the episode, we discussed the announcement that Netflix made about the recording of the first Shadow play on Broadway and how it is going to be put on Netflix. And then we discussed how there is, like, we feel there's a possibility of them putting out another episode, but mainly it would just be like oh shoot, we made a mistake. And then one of our biggest points that we actually made was that even if they didn't plan to make this big grand, like, second ending that wraps it up better, it is kind of a genius idea to do something just bad on purpose. And the reason that we thought that is because if you think about it, the worse you do something after doing something so good for so many years, it's going to get people to talk about it. And we saw that with season 5, how so many people just instantly, after noticing how bad it was, they were like, oh shoot, we should talk about it more. And then the conspiracy theories started to, like, skyrocket, and their popularity shot through the roof. Compared to the previous seasons, it was massive. And so it's kind of a genius thing that they made it stupid, but it's also really stupid that they made it stupid. So with that, go ahead and follow us on Instagram at Discovering the World Pod, and check out our website discoveringtheworld.org, and we will see you next time.